Hello. By the end of today's lesson, you should be able to turn a rational number written as a fraction into a decimal. To start today's lesson, turn to page 2 in your notebook. We take notes using Cornell Notes. So the first thing you need to do is save yourself a couple lines or a few lines on the bottom. So I'm going to take a straight edge. Just going to draw a line straight across the bottom for our summary. I like to remind myself this is the summary, and I just put a little sum over here for short. That's where I'll put my summary. And then up at the top is where we'll put our essential question. I just follow that same line that's at the very top. And then I go about 3 fingers in, about here, and I draw my line straight up and down. So I can pull out quiz type questions, vocab, and other important information and put them over here for quick reference. First thing you need to do is go ahead and up in the upper corners, you're going to write the same thing that we're going to put on our table of contents. So today we're talking about turning fractions to decimals. So that's what I'm going to write up here. Fractions to decimals. And our essential question, the thing that you need to be able to answer at the end of the lesson, is how do you turn or how do you convert a fraction into a decimal? So that's what I'm going to write right along the top here. And I'm going to keep this question in mind the entire time that I'm taking notes. So how do you convert a fraction to a decimal? So let's take a fraction that we already know what the decimal equivalent is. You can choose 1/2. I like to use 1/4. So I'm going to go ahead and write 1/4 like this. Now it's helpful to read fractions when you're trying to turn them into decimals as the numerator divided by the denominator. So you should read this as 1 divided by 4. So I'm actually going to put that here because these are our notes. We need to refer back to these when we're studying. So anything that's going to help us remember how to do this in the future, that's what we need to write down in our notes. So read as 1 divided by 4. That's what that line, that fraction line means, divided by. Then we're going to divide the numerator by the denominator. When you go back and look through your notes, numerator and denominator might be 2 vocab words that you pull out here to the left-hand side and define over here. Then we're going to write 1 divided by 4, looking like this. 1 divided by 4. Now whenever I need more decimal places after my whole number, I always add 3 zeros. If I need to add more zeros, remember this goes on and on and on, so I can put as many zeros as I want, but I always like to do 3 just right at the beginning. Now 4 does not go into 1, so I'm going to put a 0 up top. This decimal needs to be in line, and now I'm going to put 4 into 10. 4 goes into 10 2 times, so I'm going to put 2 there. 2 times 4 is 8. And we're going to subtract 10 minus 8 is 2. Just a double check here. 4 does not go into 2, so I know I'm correct so far. I can bring down one of those zeros I have up there. 4 goes into 25 times. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 minus 20, there, is 0. So I don't even need to bring down this other 0. I didn't need it, and that's okay. So now I know that 1/4 is equal to 0.25 or 25 hundredths. Let's try this again. This time I'm going to choose a mixed number. I'm going to choose a number like 3 and 1/3. Now there's two ways to do this. I can turn this into a fraction, top-heavy or improper fraction, or I can look at it as 3 plus 1/3. I'm going to show you both ways. So the first way is I'm going to turn this back into an improper fraction. So 3 times 3 is 9 plus the 1. So that would be 10 thirds. Now remember to read it as the numerator divided by the denominator. So I have 10 divided by 3. So I'm going to write that over here. 10 divided by 3. I always like to add the 3 zeros after. So 3 goes into 10 3 times. So I'm going to write that up there. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract these. Get 1. 0. 3 goes into 10 3 times. So 3 times 3 is 9. 10 minus 9 is 1. 0. 3 goes into 10 3 times. Hoping you're seeing a pattern here. 1. And it doesn't matter how many times we do this, it's still always going to give us 1, and then we bring down another 0. So no matter what we do, we're going to get 3.3333333, so on and so forth. Okay? The other way to do this is to look at it as 3 plus 1/3. Then we know the whole number is going to be 3, and we just need to figure out what this 1/3 equals. Move that. That's over. So we're still going to read this as 1 divided by 3. So that's 1 divided by 3. And we're going to put some extra zeros out here. They're already there. We're just making them visible here. 3 does not go into 1. Put a 0 there. Decimals need to line up. 3 goes into 10 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract 9 from 10. 1. Bring down a 0. 3 goes into 10 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. So on and so forth. We've actually already done this. Okay, and this will keep going as well. On and on and on. But remember, this is just what 1/3 equals. This is not our answer. If you do it this way, a lot of students like it because it's a little quicker, but you have to remember to add it back to here. So we have to add 3 plus the 0.3333, and on and on and on, which equals 3.3333, repeating. Now to write that, instead of just writing little on and on forever, you're going to write it as 3.3, and then we're going to use the over bar to let us know that that 3 is repeating. So hopefully you remember this symbol from last year. I'm going to go ahead and circle that, 3.3 repeating. Now, for your summary down here, this is where you try it on your own. You can choose an example from the textbook. We are on page 7 and 8 in your textbook. You can choose one of those examples, Or you can come up with your own fraction, divide it out, but show me that you know how to turn a fraction into a decimal. Thank you. To keep things simple, the same thing that we put up in the upper right-hand corner of our notes is going to be what we put on our table of contents. So fractions to decimals, if you notice that's next to page 2. If I turn to page 2, fractions to decimals is what I have written there.